Yeah, so from philosophical standpoint here, right, the way I look at it, it's not my opinion, it's yours, Lee, today, but if you can comment on people very much need it. People need it everywhere to bring this kind of talk, this kind of knowledge out there, to point out where the exceptional areas that need that attention, this analysis. We can delegate to machine a lot of it, a lot of mundane analysis, a lot of statistical analysis, right? They can predict, they can direct us, but in a way, right, don't you think we're still a little bit superior as creatures?
With question, we're superior to our technology. And if you're familiar with artificial general intelligence, or AGI, and the singularity, the point at which we no longer will be the ones building the next version of the machine, but only the machine is capable of doing that. It's not very far away. And, whether you think it's 2050, which is 30 years away, or you think it's 2031, which is 10 years away, it's still not very far away. We're almost likely to see it in our lifetime, because for machines to get to the point where they're capable of assessing a need and then responding to it, we're not there. Now, will we be there? Yes. Will we be there faster than most people think? Yes. If you look at what Japan is doing with household robots for elder care.
Impressive. Amazing. Yep.
Amazing stuff that they're doing. And this is one of those things where there's an entire spectrum of needs that those seniors have, and the technology is capable of predicting likely what do they need in this given scenario. So there's, it's kind of trite, but it's very true. All of the things that make us human, our empathy, our sympathy, our ability to collaborate, these things machines don't have yet. And I say yet because there are quite a number of very intriguing experiments going on with machine empathy. So something you can type in and go on a rabbit hole chase to see what's new on machine empathy. But if you look at some of the stuff that the Chinese are doing, the sophistication of their microfacial detection, there's a really interesting story here. So, say what you will about their human rights stuff, but
and I will next time. Yes.
Yeah. So we'll just leave that alone. But what they did is they installed cameras in a classroom, and they did this, and the camera was focused on the children, and they were trying to create an objective scorecard for a teacher, right? So they recognize that good teaching and good instruction is really important. So they were looking at things like engagement and performance and all of these things that would be evidenced by microfacial or macro, body reactions to what's going on in the classroom. Well, what they discovered was that it was a 99.8% predictor of child abuse. So the reactions and the microfacial behavior of children that were in an abusive home stood out like a beacon, right? So here all of a sudden we've got a technology which is hoping to teach people how to be better teachers, or how students to be better students. And what they actually discover is that this technology has just taken the covers off of the ability to find abused children.
And you're finding something that you were not looking for. This is interesting, right? Signs of, some traits that are completely new. But again, going back to humans, it's not the data that we're getting, it's not the signals, it's what we do with it. Don't you think? Because every culture will answer differently. Okay, the child that is dreamy in school, okay, some say, he's gonna be our next Mozart. I don't know, right? But in some other culture, they say, he's useless. He is not paying attention in class. So it's still very much ethical decisions, don't you think? So that's interesting part. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was heartening for me, as I was participating and have been participating in the in the industry groups that are wrestling with this. As I mentioned, I've been involved with standards in this area for 6 years. And when I begin to see the AI Alliance and ethics in AI taking top billing, and when I see product offerings around, testing ethical decision making with machine learning models, one of the companies I'm on the advisory board with, Cognitive Scale, they have actually one of their technology offerings is to test AI to see if it's in fact fair and unbiased. It actually will, without knowing what's in the box, it can detect the inputs and the outputs and get to a point of determining whether or not it's fair and unbiased machine learning models. And so what you do with technology, obviously guiding it to I won't say altruistic or wonderful purposes, but at least keeping it out of the hands of the worst of the criminal element is certainly admirable. It will be a uniquely human thing that we do. If you look at the level of sophistication that went into the SolarWinds hack, incredibly sophisticated AI technologies embedded in the development of that massive hack. Well, those technologies are colorless and tasteless until somebody puts them in their hands and uses them for beneficial or nefarious purposes. And then and only then does technology develop a color.
Lee, this should be what the heading for our talk here. Technology only gets color when we put some sense into it, right? When we really spell out what it all means, because again, technological advancement, amazing. We could never see, ahead our smartphones, like you mentioned. We could never see again this way of communicating and simply putting, our opinions out there. It's amazing.
Right.
It's amazing.
Who would think that our political discourse would occur in 140 characters at a time now?
Here we go. This is exciting. I am a humanist, though. Okay, I do see people behind everything and anything. And after more than 2 decades in technology, right, I still believe that yes, humans are needed. They need it in different qualities.
Yeah. Have you met Gerd Lanhard?
Yes, of course. I mean, I'm following. I haven't met him, but I'm a huge fan. I watch everything he does. So he is this kind of thinker and philosopher in many ways.
And he's very much a humanist as well. He and I had a chance we'll just leave it with definitely more than one cocktail across the course of an evening. And it was fascinating for 3 or 4 hours to just unpack what's happening in his head. So for others that are humanists, I would offer to you that Gerd's stuff is a fantastic fountain to drink from. You may not like every drink, but there's a lot of really, really great stuff that really focuses on what is human, what will human be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years.